하셨다가 끝나면 of the committee, the state party, concerned and give it the floor for a 2-minute statement or video message on the nomination. No other intervention will be made. To this extent, I am asking for the cooperation of all committee members and observers alike. The same congratulatory approach will be applied equally to all inscriptions. Dear colleagues, at the Bureau meeting, the Secretariat clarified that the decision adopted by the committee in the relation of the observer's status, which amends the working document prepared by the Secretariat, contradict Article 14.2 of the World Heritage Convention and Rule 43.2 of the Rule of Procedure, which indicate that the Director General shall prepare the committee's documentation. Therefore, the Secretariat proposed a technical adjustment in paragraph 3 of the decision without altering any way the substantive content of the decision adopted. Instead of reading, authorize the participation in this its 47th session, all observers of the international governmental organization, non-governmental organization, permanent observers mission to UNESCO, and non-profit making institutions having activities in the field covered by the Convention as listed in the Part 1st of the present document as amended. The end of the paragraph 3 would read, as listed in Part 1 of the present document, with the exception of the Save the Tigris Foundation. The working document would therefore remain untouched. I trust that this technical adjustment can be agreeable to all committee members. Last but not least, the Bureau also heard a report on the work of working group on the budget by the chairperson, Madame Eva Maina, Kenya. I am pleased to inform you that the group has concluded its work and that the recommended draft decision will be shortly transmitted to all members of the committee, and that document 13.at was made available by Secretariat on the web page. Consequently, there will be no more meeting of the group. Thank you very much. I give the floor to Mr. Alundo Somo. Please.
There are two rock panels with remarkable concentration of petroglyphs, the Daegok-ri petroglyphs and the Cheonjuan-ri petroglyphs. The Daegok-ri panel of petroglyphs is over 30 meters in length, and it is the largest rock art site on the Korean peninsula. In this grouping, 312 petroglyph figures have been identified. These include anthropomorphic figures, representation of marine animals and land animals. There are also depictions of boats and various tools, including images of nets and fishing-related tools. The Cheonjuan-ri petroglyphs are on a rock surface of 9.8 meters long and 2.7 meters high, located 2 kilometers upstream from Daegok-ri. The Cheonjuan-ri petroglyphs are a little different from Daegok-ri carving. They include 625 geometric patterns such as diamonds, concentric circles, and zigzags, as well as Chinese characters. The two rock panels with large concentration of rock carving are at the northern and southern extremities of the area. The nominated property has an area of 43.69 hectares, and the buffer zone has been delineated around it. The practice of rock carving along the Bangucheon stream was initiated by hunter-gatherers in the Neolithic period. These traditions were continued by Bronze Age farmers and later by members of the Silla Kingdom. The petroglyphs span the period from 5000 before Christian era and the 9th century of Christian era. The two rock panels depict a wide range of images engraved by successive generations of artists using stone and metal tools. The petroglyphs along the Bangucheon stream offer a representation of Asian coastal cultures with exceptional evidence of the artistic and cultural evolution of societies on the Korean peninsula over several millennia. The animals, human figures, writing carved into the rock show great realism and dynamism, while displaying a specific composition of figurative images and epigraphs. The petroglyphs representing animals, both aquatic and land-based, present a level of detail that makes it possible to discern the precise species of each animal. The nominated property has been found to demonstrate criteria 1 and 3. The requirements for integrity and authenticity have been met. The property includes all of the attributes that convey the outstanding universal value, and they have overall been kept virtually intact until today. A dam constructed outside the southern boundaries of the property zone has, in the past, created significant environmental pressures on one part of the petroglyphs of the property, but its negative impacts has now been largely mitigated. The property is protected under the Cultural Heritage Protection Act and other relevant laws. The property and its buffer zone are designated nationally as protected areas, and the two rock panels that have a high concentration of petroglyphs are also listed as national treasures. The management system for the nominated property is satisfactory. The establishment of a Bangucheon Petroglyphs World Heritage Center will serve as a control center for the conservation and management of the nominated property. The state party is encouraged to formally involve local communities in the management. The local government is working to control the environmental pressures, particularly with regard to potential drying out of the Daegok-ri panel due to the installation of gates at the spillway of the Sayon Dam that will ensure that the Daegok-ri petroglyphs are permanently kept above water levels. The central and local governments continuously monitor a number of physical and biological parameters to ensure that the state of conservation of the property is maintained. Here is a summary of the ICOMOS evaluation of the proposed outstanding universal value of the nominated property. To conclude, ICOMOS recommends that petroglyphs along the Bangucheon stream, Republic of Korea, be inscribed in the World Heritage List on the basis of criteria 1 and 3, and they also included a number of further recommendations in the draft decision to support the long-term conservation of the property. Thank you.
Thank you, ICOMOS, for your presentation. I now invite you, dear committee members, to adopt the draft decision 47.8b.20, But before doing so, I would like to ask the rapporteur if she has received any amendments on the draft decision proposed.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, sir. We haven't received any amendments to this decision 8B20.
Thank you so much. Now we see this draft decision. If the committee members agree with the para 1, I see no objection. Adopt. Is the committee member agree with the para 2? I see no. Adopt. Is the committee member agree with the para 3? I see none objection. Adopt. I therefore declare the draft decision 47.8b.20 adopted. Let me congratulate the Republic of Korea on behalf of the entire committee for the inscription of this property. Republic of Korea, you have the floor for a brief 2-minute statement. Thank you.
Good morning. Honorable Chairperson, committee members, and distinguished delegates. On behalf of the Republic of Korea, I wish to express my deep gratitude for your support in the successful inscription of the petroglyphs along the Bangucheon stream on the UNESCO World Heritage List. The community decision today highlights the outstanding universal value of this site, as recognized by the international community. The Korea Heritage Service will remain committed to close cooperation with local governments to ensure the effective preservation of this heritage and to pass it on to future generations. I would like to express my sincere thanks to everyone here who supported the inscription of the petroglyphs along the Bangucheon stream. Following my remarks, more speakers, including mayors of Ulsan City and Ulju Country, will deliver their words of congratulations. Thank you so much.
Congratulations again. I now invite ICOMOS to present the nomination of Tilaurakot Kapilavastu, the archaeological remains of the ancient Shakya Kingdom, Nepal. But before I give the floor to the Secretariat, Mr. Balsamo, please.
Thank you very much, Chair. We received a factual error notification concerning the evaluation of this nomination, which is to be found on page 41 of document in Fate before. Thank you.
Thank you so much. ICOMOS, we have the floor, please.
Thank you, Chairperson. This is the presentation of the ICOMOS evaluation of Tilaurakot Kapilavastu, the archaeological remains of the ancient Shakya Kingdom of Nepal. The ICOMOS report can be found in document inf.8b1 on page 133 of the English version and page 168 of the French version. On this evaluation, ICOMOS has received a letter on factual errors and has acknowledged some of these errors. The nominated property is located on the bank of the Banganga River in the Greater Lumbini area in Nepal. It preserves archaeological remains of a settlement that developed into an urban form in the 6th century before Common Era and was centered on a fortified citadel with additional residential and industrial areas, religious complexes, and other monuments surrounding it at a distance. The city possibly started to decline around the 1st to 2nd century Common Era, to be successively abandoned by the 7th to 10th century Common Era. The World Heritage Committee examined an initial nomination of Lumbini, archaeological sites in Nepal associated with the life of Lord Buddha, which included several sites, together with Tilaurakot, at the 17th session of its bureau in Paris 1993, and deferred the nomination. The state party was advised to combine the sites of Kapilavastu, Tilaurakot, and Ramagrama with Lumbini and propose them as a serial nomination. In 1996, a new nomination of Lumbini, the birthplace of the Lord Buddha, was submitted by the State Party of Nepal for evaluation as an individual site. The property was inscribed on the World Heritage List on the basis of criteria 3 and 6 at the 21st session of the World Heritage Committee in Naples, 1997. At that time, ICOMOS recommended that Tilaurakot and Ramagrama should undergo further research and preparation of conservation and management plans in order to be nominated at a later stage as significant boundary modification to Lumbini. The nominated property has an area of approximately 103 hectares and covers all confirmed subsurface archaeological remains found thus far in the area.